Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Learners, the host of the Lizard Podcast. Today, I have a very special guest. Quick call with my brother from a different mother, Snow, and also one of the alumni of my 3-week launch your podcast challenge. We took it back in May of this year, sorry, last year. I have to adjust my mind that we're currently in 2024 and not 2023. So May of 2023. And yeah, it was fun. It was awesome having him, and I'm super excited to see his progress. He has some big plans, which I was chatting earlier today. Just before this, not going to mention that. That's for another episode, but super excited. So, anyways, brother, happy to have you here today.
Hey, always great to see you, Lorenzo. Always happy to come on your podcast, on your show, brother.
Pleasure on mine. So, just wanted to quickly get your feedback on the academy, the podcasting academy that you took. What are your overall thoughts about it?
Well, first and foremost, I would highly suggest it for anyone who has any inkling idea of launching a podcast to look into his podcast challenge. He makes it very painless for people like me who would never consider to jump in front of a camera to give opinions, to share feelings and emotions on a camera to an audience like this. I like talking to people in general, but not on a camera in person. And plus, I won't say I'm IT illiterate, but I was anti-IT, anti-social media. I didn't like any of that stuff. And so I was very reluctant to do so. But going through this course with Lorenzo, the step-by-step process, the hand-holding, not only did he get me to launch my own podcast within 3 weeks, that's right, 3 weeks, I had my own podcast up and running. I was recording different podcast sessions. That's actually incredible. But he's taken me from being anti all that stuff to actually launching and running my own podcast studio here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Amazing.
That's something huge. So most of our classmates, we've all started our podcast. Most of the guys have launched their podcast on whatever platforms, Podbean, Spotify, or whatever they're doing. I'm always a bit slow, but I saw a much bigger picture for me personally, and that is where I'm at right now, is launching and building my own podcast studio.
I'm super excited, super proud of you. And I can't wait to be back in KL. We can record this podcast live and maybe do collaborations. Absolutely. Listen, prior to joining my program, how long have you been thinking of starting your podcast? Or was it even something that you thought about? Or
Never. That's what's so crazy about this is that I've never considered starting a podcast ever. The thought never crossed my mind. It's the furthest from mine possibly. If you guys knew what my background was and what I do for a living, it's not this. And I've decided to forego what my profession is of last 35 years and only do this. It's crazy.
Oh wow, that's even better. Wow.
Crazy. You didn't know that. You didn't know that. Dude, I've gotten the bug so strongly for podcasting and this entrepreneurship journey because of you and this damn book that started it all for me. Because of that, this light turned on, and all those other things I've done for the last, again, 35 years, I've foregone all that just to do this.
So what was it about that made you consider, hey, wait a second, to go from not even a consideration to, hey, wait a second, I might want to do that? That actually looks good.
Well, from the Leaders with the Heart book, those stories, and learning that those stories were kind of done from your podcast show, to taking the course and learning how to monetize a course where one can actually earn a living from this, but then also just the type of class of individuals who are in this podcasting bubble. I can say that we're kind of a different group of people, right? And so I'm learning this thing about the tribes in these journeys, and the journey that I'm on. It's important to join the right tribe, what right group to help move you along. And so your organization of Leaders with the Voice, it's all kind of self-made. It's all the platform is already there. It's already built, and so many people are here that was like me, having no idea what to do. Some people are very professional at talking on the camera, but learning different techniques from you. And so it's a community that helps grow the community. That's what's very attractive to me.
Wow, powerful, powerful. Now, and prior to that, what was the main reason that you had not started your podcast? You mentioned that you were not a tech savvy person, and was there any other reasons that you didn't think of
Well,
starting your podcast?
no, it's like, why did you not think about becoming a veterinarian?
Mm.
It just never crossed your mind. So there's nothing that stopped me. But when, oh, you know what? You did ask me a few different times I should do it. You did say you should tell your
As soon as I
story.
heard your
And
story, I said, "Yo, brother, you need to share your story." Remember how many times I told you?
and I was very reluctant to do that, yes. And I was reluctant for a number of reasons. One, I don't know how. Two, I'm very, although I guess I do have some charisma. I am outspoken in person, but when it comes to being on the camera, I'm very reserved. And podcasting still feels like social media, putting it out there. And at the time, I was anti that because of whatever
Mm.
these issues we have that keeps us from wanting to share. And so I didn't think I have some unique experiences. I know this. I didn't know that people will want to hear it. So your encouragement to get me to tell my story, which led me to have to be in volume 2 of that book of yours. So super excited.
At the
So
end of the month.
I'm a huge fan across the board, and I know the possibilities of podcasting is now, it's actually kind of endless. So I'm super excited to have been involved in that.
Just piggyback on that. First of all, I'm honored for your trust and all that. But just to piggyback on that is podcasting is a phenomenal launching pad to much bigger thing. It can take you to, elevate you as an expert, a leader, an authority, maybe get into becoming a paid, highly sought after paid, speaker, go to conferences, TV shows, radio, whatever. The sky is the limit. And of course, books. So speaking of that, I've been pounding you all since we've known each other for almost a year now. Wow. I'm actually tomorrow in 2 days is going to be the 1 year anniversary that when I went to KL, first time January 11 of 2023. And we met the next day. Wow. So I've been pounding you for all these months, brother. You need to start your podcast. So what was the tipping point for you after all these me just telling you? The tipping point said, you know what? Yeah, let's do that.
It would have to be it would have to be when I connected the dots from your podcast to these stories. This book, it came to me at the right moment, because I think I mentioned this a couple different times. There was a passage in there. I connected with a lot of the authors that was inside there, some of their stories. But one particular thing was this statement that says by one of the authors, "I'm open to receive what the universe has in store for me."
That's
I
Mary.
thought that was a very moment. And that was Mary,
Publisher.
the publisher of this book. And then realizing that, man, you two are kind of glued together at the hip. It made perfect sense for me to figure out how to get involved in this thing. And again, I still didn't know how to go about podcasting, but when you kept explaining to me that your process is A to Z and you hold our hands throughout the entire process, so that finally gave me the courage and trust to say, you know what, I'll give it a shot. And so and that's why I got started, honestly.
Awesome. But you know what's something even deeper? It's amazing connections and the people I met around the world. How did we meet? because of the podcast, because I made a post. I was in Thailand before coming to Malaysia. I made a post on Facebook saying I'm going to be flying to Malaysia tomorrow. Beverly, one of the
Authors.
contributor, yeah, to volume #1. You happen to know What a Small World. She said, "Hey, I have a friend there." She said, "Oh, you want?" She asked me if I wanted to connect. I said, "Absolutely, bring it on." She connected me. We met the next day. The rest is history. That's how powerful podcasting is. It brings people together.
Yes, yes. And I'm watching you perform on your 300 and whatever episodes you're on now. And I'm seeing the long history that you're making with this network of these professional individuals. And so it only makes sense. It only made sense for me to go this path. It
Beautiful.
only makes sense.
All right. What part of the program did you like the most?
I like the I was drawn to the press releases.
Oh, yes.
You brought in the lady Angel Tucci to teach us how to master free press releases, and as a result from that, I employed those techniques, and as a result from that, I got a journalist, excuse me, to prepare immediately for me a free professional press release, which catapulted my scene here in Malaysia.
Beautiful.
From those techniques, That's the one I like the most.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you're saying that the section about the part about me bringing experts, that's what you enjoy the most?
Yes, the experts that you brought on board, and that press release experts particularly, is the one I really gravitated towards.
Awesome. What did you think of the support from me throughout the program?
Oh, the sport couldn't have been better. It could have been better if you would have done my homework. But other than that, it couldn't have been better. I was really appreciative of all the support, and you explain it in such a way that I can understand it.
I see. Okay, beautiful. Now that you have your own podcast, how do you see podcasting helping you with your businesses?
Every day, it's paramount. It's actually for me, growing my business will be primarily through podcasting. Primarily through podcasting.
I see.
Only because now for me it's fun, right? It's exciting. And because I'm doing a little bit different, because I have the space and the resources, I'm creating my own podcast studio. And so I'm learning that it's very attractive for individual businesses, owners, and companies to get this exposure, right? And for amateurs and people who are not in business, it's also still, it's exciting to be whisked away and show up at somebody's studio and to be the center of attention for however long that session lasts for. It's exciting, and organically inherited. So, yeah.
Beautiful. So you have a few businesses, and the beautiful thing about podcasting is you can easily implement the same methods to any of your businesses. You have a travel agency, you're doing your eyeballing business. So, are you going to start one podcast for each of them, or?
I'm going to have to. Yes. So my eyeballing brand have its own eyeballing with Snow. Play locally, win globally. 2-part. One, that's the first part. Second part would be where passion meets purpose, and then I'll have one for my my travel agency, as you mentioned, and it looks like I'll be doing one for my logistics company as well. And not to mention one even for my podcast studio.
So like what, 4 in total?
4 to start. Yes.
Holy smoke! This guy's on fire.
4 to, 4 to,
If
4 to
anyone's
start.
if you're looking to hire someone, let me know. I can get
Yeah.
something for you. You know.
Yeah, 4 to start.
Uh, is
Because of the podcast studio, I mean the podcast itself is so versatile. It has literally limitless possibilities at how to
Mhm.
implement it. So
Absolutely
it's just you're only limited by your creativity. So I met with my team today. I gave them 3 more different ideas and concepts of the way forward.
beautiful. Have you launched any of your podcasts yet?
Not yet.
What's the
Okay, so one thing that's holding me back is one, I think is not good. I think that my
come on?
I know. Wait. I think it's not good, but also, uh, man, I am addicted to the professional setup.
Oh yes,
I I am addicted. It's
you
absolutely
enjoyed that
wonderful.
one we did in the studio, eh? Back in November.
Yes, yes, and I did it. I was on the show just a couple of days ago. Even more phenomenal.
Wow,
So So I'm really taking to that. So that's the way forward. Again, it's 6:41 here in Malaysia, and I'm not I'm not trying to rush out of work, right? Uh, so this is how it'll be going forward, and hopefully we create an atmosphere here at Oracle. We're gonna call it Oracle Podcast Studios, where it's inviting for people to come in and just sit down and explore different techniques and different possibilities of how to monetize their own podcast.
beautiful. Now let's put it out there and hold you accountable. What date are you shooting for the official launch of your first podcast?
I'm hoping to record officially the first episode on January 25th.
Beautiful.
We may look for a soft launch for the 1st of February. So 1st of February technically will be that date that we start, but I'm hoping that I get everything, all the curtains hung and the equipment inside and tested and do the first recording on the 25th of January.
I'm excited. World, put it on your calendar. January 25th, Snow is going live for his podcast. Can't wait. That
Yes.
can't wait.
Eyeballing with snow.
Sorry.
Eyeballing with snow.
Oh wow, there you go. One last question about the academy. Would you recommend it to others? And if yes, why?
The short answer is yes. I would recommend it to many, to all actually. And why? For a number of reasons, business wise, monetary wise. But in all honesty, it's been therapeutic. It's literally been therapeutic to be on podcast and to host podcast. You have no idea how you get over your fears of speaking, you get over your fears of how you look on camera, how you sound on camera, all these things just kind of go by the wayside by going this route. Yeah.
Absolutely. Podcasting is going to transform you. It's going to make you much more confident, much more charismatic. You're already very charismatic naturally. So imagine, I can't wait to see Snow in a year from now. You're going to be like, wow. Anyways, brother, listen, thank you for your time. Thank you for your honest feedback. Really appreciate it. Honored, delighted, and really happy to have had you on the program and to see you graduate, be an alumni, and super proud of you and what your plans. Can't wait to see them unfold and cheering for you. I salute you. You truly do with a heart. Keep shining your light. Keep blessing the world, your presence, your impact with everything you do. As always, play locally, win globally. Right?
That's it.
All right, brother. Take care.
Play locally. Okay, bro. Thanks.
Take care. Cheers.